Holger Rune triumphs over Giovanni Mpetshi Perricard in Toronto. ATP Tour highlights. In a thrilling display of skill and strategy, Holger Rune outmaneuvered Giovanni Mpetshi Perricard, showcasing his ability to excel in challenging situations. Meanwhile, Lorenzo Musetti also celebrated a victory in Toronto, adding to the excitement of the ATP Tour. Toronto. In a notable match on July 29, 2025, Daniil Medvedev triumphed and is set to face the defending champion, Alexei Popyrin, in the next round. Holger Rune, with a tour-level record of 23 wins and 14 losses in 2025, demonstrated his prowess on impressively. The fifth-seeded Dane delivered 12 aces compared to Mpetshi Perricard's 7 and did not face a single breakpoint throughout their 76-minute encounter, as reported by Infosys ATP Stats. Rune expressed his satisfaction with his performance, stating, "I haven't served like this in a while. I've been working on some small adjustments on my serve, and it seems to be feeling good. It felt really good and I trusted it all the way." He emphasized the importance of focusing on his own serve when facing an opponent with powerful serves like Mpetshi Perricard. Despite withdrawing from his DC opener, Rune dedicated 3 days in Washington to training with tennis legend Andre Agassi. Although their collaboration was brief, Rune appeared sharp and ready to compete again after his first-round exit at Wimbledon last month. In their previous encounter, Mpetshi Perricard had delivered 17 aces against Rune while winning the Basel title last year. However, the 22-year-old Dane capitalized on the fast conditions at the Canadian ATP Masters 1000 event to avenge that loss, leveling their head-to-head record at 1-1. With his current record of 23-14, which includes a title win in Barcelona this past April, Rune is positioned 15th in the PIF ATP Live Race to Turin. His next challenge will be against Alexandre Muller in Toronto. Lorenzo Musetti, currently ranked 6th in the live race and aiming for a debut at the Nitto ATP Finals, also advanced through his first match in Toronto, defeating James Duckworth with a score of 7-5, 6-1. This victory was particularly significant for the 23-year-old Italian, as it ended a 3-match losing streak following early exits at Wimbledon and Washington. Musetti has achieved a remarkable 17 wins at the ATP Masters 1000 level this year, although 13 of those victories came on clay courts. To enhance his chances of qualifying for Turin, he must carry the momentum he built during the European clay court swing, where he reached the semifinals in all 3 Masters events and at Roland Garros into the North American hardcourt season. Next, Musetti will face Alex Michelsen, who narrowly defeated Tomas Barrios Vera 7-6, 7, 6-3 in a tense second-round match. Michelsen saved 3 set points in the first set before dominating the second to secure his first win in Toronto. In other early matches, defending champion Alexei Popyrin kicked off his title defense with a 7-6, 7, 6-3 victory over Canadian wildcard Nicolas Arsenault. Popyrin, who made headlines last year by defeating 5 consecutive top 20 players to claim his biggest career title, will next challenge the 10th seed Daniil Medvedev. This second-round win marked Popyrin's 3rd victory on hard courts this season. Medvedev, who overcame lucky loser Dalibor Svetsina with a score of 7-6-3, 6-4, acknowledged that he was not at his best, but was relieved to secure the win. "I was far from my best tennis, but it happens," he remarked after the match. "In Washington, I felt like I played a good match against Corentin Moutet and lost. Wimbledon was kind of the same. It's better to play worse and win, so I'm happy I won the match." Emilio Nava also made headlines by defeating French lucky loser Terence Main 6-2, 7-5, marking his 2nd consecutive tour-level win after reaching the quarterfinals in Los Cabos 2 weeks ago. The 23-year-old American is set to face 11th seed Karen Khachanov, who comfortably advanced past Argentine qualifier Juan Pablo Ficovich with a score of 6-4, 6-2. Zverev storms back to tennis with a win at the ATP Toronto Masters. In a remarkable comeback, Alexander Zverev returned to the tennis court after a month-long hiatus, showcasing his skills with a decisive victory over Adam Walton in the ATP Toronto Masters. The match concluded with a score of 7-6, 8-8, 6-3, propelling Zverev into the third round of the tournament. After an early exit in the first round of Wimbledon, Zverev took time off to address mental fatigue and even sought guidance at Rafael Nadal's academy in Mallorca, where he likely received valuable insights and advice regarding his career. During the match, Zverev faced a challenging start, trailing 4-1 in the tiebreak of the first set. However, he displayed resilience, not encountering a single break point until he was serving for the match at 5-3, where he found himself down 0-40. Although he lost that game, he quickly regained his momentum by breaking back, capitalizing on a double fault from Walton at a crucial moment. One of the highlights of the match was a thrilling 52-shot rally, and with this win, Zverev notched his 499th career victory. Reflecting on his performance, he remarked, "Sometimes it's just about winning." It was not the prettiest match, though. As the 2017 champion in Canada, Zverev is set to face Italian player Matteo Arnaldi next, who advanced by defeating qualifier Tristan Schoolkate with a score of 6-3, 3-6, 6-3. In other matches, third-seeded Lorenzo Musetti and fifth-seeded Holger Rune both made strong starts, winning their matches in straight sets. Musetti, who received a bye in the first round, quickly dispatched Australian qualifier James Duckworth with a score of 7-5, 6-1, while Rune overcame Giovanni Mpetshi Perricard with a score of 7-6, 9-7, 6-3. Eighth seed Casper Ruud also secured a win, defeating Roman Safiullin 6-3, 6-3, contributing to a series of victories for the seeded players. However, the tournament is notably missing top contenders, as both world number 1 Jannik Sinner and second-ranked Carlos Alcaraz are sidelined due to injuries and fatigue. Musetti's performance was particularly impressive, as he dominated Duckworth in just 82 minutes, breaking serve at a critical moment when Duckworth double faulted while serving at 1-5. Musetti capped off the match with an ace. Showing signs of returning to form after a challenging summer that included a loss in his only grass match at Wimbledon and an early exit in Washington. With 17 winners to his name, Musetti capitalized on Duckworth's over 30 unforced errors. His next challenge will be against American Alex Michelsen, who triumphed over Chilean qualifier Tomas Barrios Vera with a score of 7-6, 9-7, 6-3. Rune, returning to action after a first-round defeat at Wimbledon, handed Mpetshi Perricard his fourth loss against top 10 players. The Danish player, a four-time Masters finalist, achieved his first hardcourt win since March at Indian Wells. After the match, Rune described it as a tricky encounter, noting the difficulty in finding rhythm against a strong server. He emphasized the importance of maintaining his own serve and seizing opportunities when they arose, particularly during the tense tiebreak of the first set. Limiting his unforced errors to just 10, Rune demonstrated a level of control that was significantly better than his opponent's performance. In other results, 11th seed Karen Khachanov secured a straightforward victory against Argentina's Juan Pablo Ficovich, winning 6-4, 6-2. Last year's champion in Canada, Alexei Papirin, also advanced, defeating local wildcard Nicolas Arsenault 7-6, 9-7, 6-3. Unfortunately for Canadian Denis Shapovalov, his struggles continued as he lost to Lerner Tien with a score of 7-6, 7-4, 7-5, extending a disappointing streak at home that dates back to 2019. Meanwhile, 10th-seeded former champion Daniil Medvedev successfully navigated his opening match, defeating Czech lucky loser Dalibor Svirsina 7-6, 7-3, 6-4, and will next face Papirin after a match that featured over 40 unforced errors. Holger Rune's impressive win over Giovanni Mpetshi Perricard in Toronto opener. In a stunning display of skill and determination, Holger Rune, the Danish tennis prodigy, emerged victorious against Giovanni Mpetshi Perricard in the opening match of the National Bank Open in Toronto. This triumph marked the beginning of Rune's U.S. Open swing, setting the tone for what promised. The match lasted 1 hour and 15 minutes on center court, with Rune demonstrating his exceptional talent and resilience. But here's where it gets controversial. Prior to the tournament, Rune had been off the court since a disappointing first-round exit at Wimbledon last month. However, he made headlines with the announcement of a new collaboration with tennis legend Andre Agassi. This partnership has sparked much debate in the tennis community, with some questioning the timing and others excited to see what this mentorship could bring to Rune's game. He's obviously an icon, so everybody knows him, his style and everything, Rune said of Agassi. I thought when I reached out to him, he would be a good guy to get some mentoring from. Rune added that it was refreshing to have a different perspective on his game, and he saw similarities between Agassi's style and his own, particularly in their aggressive returning. The Dane was unable to compete in Washington, D.C. due to a sudden back injury, but he was in top form against Mpetshi Perricard after receiving a first-round bye. Mpetshi Perricard, who had a head-to-head advantage over Rune after defeating him in the Swiss Indoors Basel semifinals last fall, presented a significant challenge. He had pushed eventual semifinalist Taylor Fritz to 5 sets in the first round of Wimbledon, showcasing his own potential. In the first set, Mpetshi Perricard gained the early lead in the tiebreaker, but Rune fought back, saving a set point at 7-6 to ultimately win the set on his second opportunity. The second set saw Rune break Mpetshi Perricard's serve in the fourth game, capitalizing on a 0-40 lead to race ahead 5-2. Mpetshi Perricard forced Rune to serve it out, but the 22-year-old Dane had no problems closing the match, volleying his way to victory in just over an hour. Rune's performance was clean, with 23 winners to just 10 unforced errors over 2 sets. And this is the part most people miss. Rune's next opponent could be another Frenchman, as he awaits the winner of the match between number 29 seed Alexandra Mueller in their first meeting or Miomir Kekmanovic. Rune leads 3-1. This sets the stage for what could be another thrilling encounter in the tournament. What do you think about Rune's collaboration with Andre Agassi? Will it help him in his quest for the U.S. Open title? Share your thoughts in the comments below.